following program was provided by a valued member of our local community. Rogers TV is proud to support local producers and share local voices, ideas, and opinions. For more information, please visit our website.
Join us today as we go to Millen Smith Acres in Keene, Ontario. We come back to the studio and we make a delicious Greek turkey burger. This is cooking. Welcome to our series Farm to Fork. I'm Chef Connie Powers and you're watching Rogers TV. Today we're taking you to Millen Smith Acres in Keene, Ontario. There we're going to meet Jen Ostendriver, the operator, the owner of the farm. She has a successful food producing and agritourism farm going on when there's also a wedding venue. We went on the tour, we saw some animals that are there for the agritourism. Alpacas, emus, there's some pot-bellied pigs. There's a family environment going on. She introduced us to her dad who helps. He's a retired non-farmer, but helps his daughter on the farm. And we saw some turkeys in the background, and she does do a small amount of turkeys. So today, we decided to do a Greek turkey burger. Let's get started. Turkey doesn't necessarily have a lot of flavor, so you need to use some seasonings. This is a Mediterranean style burger, so you're going to have an array of seasonings. We have onion powder, garlic powder, there's some dried basil, dried oregano, dried dill, some kosher salt, some salt, and some pepper. This feta cheese is going to be added as well. So let's start adding our seasonings. So we're going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, about a teaspoon and a half of dried dill, a teaspoon of dried oregano, and the most important one for this is the teaspoon of dried basil, and then about a teaspoon and a half of salt and about 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. And we're going to mix that up. Now, most of you think, oh, we're making a burger. Let's get out the breadcrumbs and let's get out the egg. Stop yourself right there. You are going to make more of a panade with this. Turkey does not have a lot of fat. It's going to dry out easily. So instead of putting breadcrumbs that's going to absorb the moisture already, you're going to make a panade. This is broken up bread, not quite fine breadcrumbs, and you're going to mix a little bit of milk to make a panade, which is more of a paste. I would like to add a little bit more milk to that. So this is about 3/4 cup of broken up bread and probably close to a cup of milk. What you want is a porridge, oatmeal, that kind of a consistency. Now this is what you want to put in a burger. It will retain, the protein of the milk will help retain the moistness of the meat. So we'll put that in there. No egg. The egg is often used as a binder and it really just dries out your burger. Okay, we're going to mix that up. Now, just a little bit of a fun fact. You notice I'm wearing a pink chef's coat today. So there's significance in the color of chef's coats, and I wondered if you noticed the difference. A white one is for front of the house. A black one is for a more formal event, and it could even be in the back of the house. A pink one, a checkered one, any colored one is a sous chef. When you are on Jen's farm, you're a sous chef. What goes on in her wedding catering place, there's real chefs there that are running the show. I decided to be the sous chef today. So we're going to mix that up. We're going to make sure that our panade is very combined, very mixed in completely with no pockets of seasoning, because that was a lot of seasoning we put in there. The dill is very important for that Mediterranean. Now, we are going to let this sit for just a bit. No, I didn't add the feta. I'm going to add the feta just before I make it. We're going to go on a short break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. I'm Chef Connie Powers, and you're watching Farm to Fork on Rogers TV. Today we are visiting Millen Smith Acres in Keene, Ontario, and we're making a Greek turkey burger. We've added a lot of seasonings, the recipe's at the end, and now we're going to add in about half a cup of feta cheese. Well, we're going to mix that in. This burger, we used a panade instead of just plain breadcrumbs, and that's going to help retain our moisture. Okay, these patties are ready to be formed. Now, to get the best flavoring, you make the patty and you chill those. We're going to just start making the patty. I'm going to use my hands because it works best. Now, turkey is a very soft meat. It's very soft, and it looks like it won't retain its moisture. If it sticks to the hands, just a little bit of water, they will firm up as they're chilling. Just use a little bit of water on your hands and it'll release it. Make the patty whatever size you want. You could use a press. I never use a press because by the time it's cooked, nobody looks at that. So I think I'm making these a little bit small. I think I may get about 6 burgers out of this. So we are going to make these burgers up. I'm going to put them in the fridge to chill. And while we're chilling these burgers, you are going to go on the tour and you are going to meet Jen and her family on Millen Smith Acres. Welcome to our series, Farm to Fork. Today we find ourselves in Keene, Ontario, 2709 Dillon Road at Millen Smith Farms. I'm Chef Connie Powers. We're about to go meet Jen Austin and her family whose philosophy is learning about farm life. Let's go see. We're here at Millen Smith Acres. This is Jen Austin Driver. She is the operator and owner of this farm. Now, your theory is learning about farm life.
Yeah.
And so we're about to go learn about farm life. You have alpacas, emus, I can see, chickens, pigs, cows. So what is your main drive? Is it to produce food? Is it to have tourism? Or is it a combination?
Kind of a combination. So I love the idea of people knowing where their food comes from, and that's kind of how I wanted to get into farming. I wanted to raise my own food. This is a generational farm, but I grew up in Brampton, so I wasn't a lifer on the farm, if you will.
Well, that's interesting. Well, let's go take a look and see what you've got. These are helpers for the day. Are you students? Are you regular employees? How do you find yourself on this farm?
Student and regular employee during the summer.
Oh, okay.
I just graduated and it's my first day starting with Jen.
First day and you're on Rogers TV. Great. This is going to be an exciting job for you. And your name is?
Hudson.
Madison.
Well, we're going to follow you around today. Hey, Pup. You like a lot of attention. Don't run over the dog on the first day. So Jen, you are the main worker on this farm. Yeah.
So to speak. I mean, it is a collective effort. I have an agritourism business as well, so I do weddings and events.
Oh,
and,
wow.
So with that comes a pretty big team, and there's lots of family help that's around.
You mentioned that this is a generational farm, but you also said that you did not grow up on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
So explain that journey.
So my family has owned this property since 1953.
Oh.
And everyone who didn't get married stayed on the farm, basically. I grew up here until I was 7, and after that I moved to the city, Toronto, with my mom and my stepdad. And so I grew up there, but the farm has always been a huge part of my roots and my heart. And so after university, I came back to the Peterborough area, met my then husband, and we flipped a couple houses, and then it got to the point where the last person on the farm was my great uncle Bill. He wanted to sell, we wanted to buy, so we bought the farm, and he decided to live with us.
So you get his expertise.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So he lived with us. He passed in 2018. My partner and I parted ways in 2020, and then just my little girls and I are on the farm now.
So when you came on the farm in 2018, did you say?
2016.
2016, what livestock did you already have?
So I had nothing because I lived in a kind of rural subdivision. So there wasn't any room for anything but chickens. So actually I did have chickens. And then my great uncle, he was a dairy farmer, a beef farmer. He did cropping by hand and like hand plows and horses and that sort of thing. But as he aged, he downsized everything, and then he got into just really fancy poultry. So he was known for his Jersey Giant chickens and his African geese. And so there was just some really fancy birds on the farm, and then pasturing cattle for a neighbor.
Well, that chicken, that's a really niche market.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often. So now you have cattle that you process?
So I'm starting a small herd. I started with Longhorns, and then I quickly got out of the Longhorns.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Just recently. I've never been scared of anything, and one just charged me, and it just made me feel a touch nervous. So just given that I don't have a ton of cattle experience, and that we have constant guests, I thought it best to maybe choose a different breed. And so my little girls got into 4-H this year, which is a really cool agricultural program. So they started showing, and we chose Charolais cattle. So we're gonna build on that.
So you have a background somewhat, but then you're really starting new at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
I like that. So explain the agritourism. It seems to be a big part of your business.
Yeah, so just right before COVID, I connected with my now very good friend Sarah, who has the Pearly Acre, and she is a potbelly pig rescue and a pig rescue in general. So she's a really cool human. We come at this with a bit of a different approach. Obviously, I'm a working farm, and I produce meat. She is vegan, and she does beautiful work to help any animal, but specifically
She's a rescue farm.
She's a rescue, but we both have such a deep appreciation of how you need all the things to make it work
different
around.
stewards of different lands. Yes. When you have a wedding on this farm, you get caterers in?
Yes.
And they could use your product?
For very small events, they can use our product. We're not big enough to provide 200 tenderloins for a wedding, right?
Yeah,
like
I
it's
get
one
that.
specific cut, which is challenging. But for small events, we've done some farm to table menus.
So we're going to, it's Farm Hill Venues. Wedding venue. And this is where you can get a hold of Jen to book a wedding. What else do you do, Ed?
Weddings,
Birthday parties?
Events, birthdays.
Retirements. Your Airbnb is year-round?
Yes.
And that would be the same website?
Yes.
So it says the party is here. Wow, look at this. I did not anticipate this. Wow. Oh, really? You've got an amazing building in here.
Thank you.
So this was not here.
Nothing was here. So basically from the woodshed on, there was nothing. In 2019 and the end of 2018, I toured couples. I brought hand-drawn drawings, and I said, this is going to be a thing next year. And 25 couples said yes to a hole in the ground.
How old?
So I built in 2020.
Yeah, it's really new. It's impeccably built. And she says that it will hold 200?
Yes.
And then do all of these doors open?
They do.
Did you design this?
I did.
Because it's a great design. It lends itself to a very classy inside, a very natural feeling farm experience.
Yes.
So you can have up to 200. You've got, do you have a kitchen space in there?
So it would be an outdoor kitchen. So caterers would come fully self-sustaining.
Okay. But you have like a bar inside. You have a mobile bar.
Yes.
So the ceremony takes place right here.
Correct.
And then they just come here.
Yeah, and so it's a really meandering space. We really wanted to bring the party to the country.
The gardens are impeccable. Who takes care of all this? You can't do this alone.
No, it's a lot. So our farm team is amazing. So they maintain the gardens, and then we have the actual gardeners and architect out a couple times a year to do a big finesse. So that's bespoke gardens, and they're amazing.
You work with a variety of local food industries people, I can tell.
Yeah, community is really, really important to me. I think if we can all raise each other, we all rise. And I think that it's really important to honor your neighbors and to help your friends and to support locally. And that's really a big part of my vision here. So we work closely with Kitchen Pharmacy and Cheeky Duck, Shamong Lodge, Two Dishes, Black Honey, BE Catering. Those are to name a few. We work with someone in Toronto called Treeline Catering. They're also amazing, obviously not hyper local, but yeah, very good.
Yeah, I've worked with a few of those people. And
actually Heaven on 7 too, I would be remiss.
Heaven on 7?
Yeah, Andrea is a really cool woman. So this is my little market display, and
oh, nice.
We've got, the freezers are full, so we've got lamb and pork.
And so this is your farm shop where if someone orders meat, they come here and it's great.
Exactly. And then we use all of these wares when we set up for our market booths. So we've sold meat at Peterborough Regional Farmers Market, usually in the winter just because I am so busy in the summer. In 2018, we had a really great market year, and then we've kind of transitioned into more on-farm or online sales.
Okay.
Come on! So these are our ewes that we breed. There's 8 of them plus 1 ram, so there's 9 in total. Usually that brings us up to about 25 sheep for the year.
Well, hi girls.
And maybe just open that green gate now. We do a free concert every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9:30, so that's a great time to pop in and buy meat because we're already here and you get to enjoy a beverage, a tune. And
so you have music Wednesday over by your venue, and the farm's wide open.
Exactly. So people tend to come and do a little self-guided farm tour. They can buy some meat then and then enjoy the ambience of the venue.
Wednesday, what time does it open?
6:30 to 9:30.
6:30 to 9:30, and that would be June?
It usually starts 3rd week of June to the end of September.
So we're over here with the pig area, and these are food producers.
Yes. So we are really fond of sweets and Sour Patch. So we let them breed, and we'll keep them into retirement because they've done they've given us so many beautiful babies.
There's also a flower farm just starting. So what's going on?
So my cousin is actually the mastermind of the flower portion. Given that we're a wedding venue, and again, coming full circle on the farm, people are buying all their flowers from warehouses in Toronto, so that's a huge impact in terms of just environmental footprint, all the plastic used, the transportation back and forth.
Sure.
So we saw an opportunity to be able to supply our couples with beautiful blooms grown here.
I want to thank you for bringing us on your farm. There's so many different things happening here. At first view, you say, Millen Smith Acres, you see that you selling meat, but there's so much more to you. there's this huge a steward of the land, even when you're doing venues. It's a beautiful place.
Thank you so much.
And we're back. That was a great tour. Something about seeing alpacas and emus makes you feel like almost like a character out of a storybook. They're so funny looking, and they're just a great thing to have on a tour because it's not for meat, it's just to look at, and they're fun. So the burgers are cooking. I have them in a little bit of olive oil. Remember, turkey's a little on the dry side. So here they are. Where they're cooking, and what you want to do is 165 internal temperature. Don't take a risk, don't take a chance on it. We're going to take those out, the ones that I've already checked at 165. We're going to let them just sit for a bit. I've got one more to cook. I just want to check this one for sure. 167, that one can come out. Check this one. Oh, this one says it's cooked. I'm not trusting my temperature for 1 minute there. And I'm going to put the last one in. Now you could put these on a grill. If you're putting these on a grill, you'd want to use a flat, full grill and not a grate because you'll lose half your burger down the grate. So I'm going to, yep, this one's done. There's one left. If you notice, the feta cheese has stayed intact, melted a little bit. That's going to make a really yummy addition to that. So let's get ready to plate these up. So the condiments that I want to use on this is tzatziki. That's the sauce that's going to make this come alive. Red onion, lettuce, and some dill pickles. This one does not require the normal ketchup, mustard that you may see on a burger. So you're going to just use the tzatziki. And tzatziki sauce, you can buy it ready-made, you can make it. It is Greek yogurt, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of dill. You let that sit for maybe a day in the refrigerator, and you've got tzatziki sauce. So we'll put the burger on top, and we will dress it with dill pickle. I might put a little bit more tzatziki sauce on the top bun. 2 hands. You can dress them to taste. And really what gives it that nice Greek flavor is some red onion. Now you could put a little bit more feta on this if you wanted to. I find like that's just the crumbles that fall out. And, oops, I forgot the lettuce. Give it a little crunch with some nice iceberg lettuce. And there you have it. A Greek turkey burger. This looks like it's going to be yummy. Let's slice it in half. That looks like a really nice burger. You could put a tomato on that if that's how your family like to eat it. This is the easiest thing to make, but you can take turkey and you can make it into a nice summer dinner. Thanks for showing up. Make these burgers today. If you are looking for a wedding venue, if you're looking for some place just to roam around a very neat and tidy farm, Millen Smith Acres in Keene, Ontario, Farm Hill Wedding Venue. It's a great place to be. Keep cooking.